Hi, it's Cory, and today we are going to be talking about the question on everyone's minds. Why have so many ukuleles? The very quick and easy way to answer this question is I love ukulele as an instrument. I originally first started playing because when I was in my first job for music teaching, I tried bringing along a guitar, but because I was a traveling music teacher around my school, it was really tough, and I actually ended up dropping my guitar once and I kind of messed it up. So I was like, there have to be better options out here. When I was in college, I very briefly kind of got an introduction to the ukulele, and I was like, whoa, this is so much easier, at least for me, than guitar. Even before I started making videos for YouTube, I really loved the ukulele. When I got into my next teaching job, I was fortunate enough that my school had an entire class set of ukuleles, and I kind of wanted to make that the cornerstone of my program. That's kind of how I got into my YouTube channel. I started making tutorials for my students, and then I decided I really liked it, so I just kept going with it. And along that journey of kind of doing it for school and then for personal, and now as like a passion that I really enjoy, I've been fortunate enough that I've, invested my own money in a lot of my ukuleles, but also sometimes I get sent ukuleles that I get to play, and that is really cool because I get to try out different things. But I would say of my collection, which was a lot bigger before the holidays, I downsized quite a lot. I personally have purchased about half of them, and I've been gifted from brands the other half. But what's really cool about that is it allows me to be able to try out a lot of different kinds that I might not otherwise be able to invest as much of my own money into. So again, we get back to that question, why so many? The biggest reason why I'd really advocate for people to start making their own ukulele collection, obviously if it works within your budget, is because there's so many benefits to all the different types of ukuleles. It goes with that with anything. If you ask a guitarist and they have 20 guitars, you might be like, well, how different can all these guitars be? The answer is very different. So the ukulele is the same way. There are a lot of different sizes of ukulele that give a lot of different tone. It can be really good to play depending on, the feel that you want for the song you're playing. And in general, it's just great to have all those different tones and timbres kind of at your fingertips. And it does require a little bit of adjustment at times, but I found that it's not so much. It's more of a head thing that I have to kind of oh, I'm playing a baritone now, or oh, I'm gonna play a soprano. To kind of illustrate this, I wanted to sort of show you a couple different reasons of why I would use a different type of ukulele for a different type of project. So right off the bat, if I was traveling somewhere and I had a very small, limited amount of space, I would reach for two of my ukuleles. This would be the first one I reach for. This is the Enya Nova U Mini. It is a travel ukulele made out of a combination carbon fiber plastic that is super fun to play. This is the original one, and now they've re-released it with different colors. In addition to the new minis also have strap pegs, so just keep that in mind. It has a super slim profile, so this will literally fit in my carry-on. I have a bag for it, but I've stuck this in my carry-on before, and it just sits out there. It has a nice little bright sound. Because of the size and durability and stuff, it just can't really be beat. This is another soprano size ukulele that I would reach for if I wanted to do some traveling or just a really quick project or something that's durable. The reason why is this is a Laminate ukulele. This is part of Enya's beginner starter series, and I'll have all of these linked down below if you're interested in checking them out. But what I really like about this too is it has this circle shape, and what I often use this for actually is I will do little Dungeons and Dragons songs with it. I think it looks like a bard's instrument or something. I really like that. It has a nice kind of really quiet, delicate sound. I used this as a travel ukulele for a long time because it's a laminate body. It's more durable than some of my other wood ukuleles, or two, it is in a lower price range, so I wasn't as worried about traveling with it if something bad happened to it. But I mean, like, even in its case, this still fits in my carry-on suitcase. So I used to just like stick this in its case, put it in my carry-on, and pack my clothes around it. That's kind of what I love about these. And again, like, the shape just like gives me bard feels. So if you're a Dungeons and Dragons person who also plays ukulele and you're looking for something just to like whip out in a session because like you want to have a little ditty or something, this would be a really good option for you. If I'm looking to record something really nice, I will reach mainly for my solid mahogany ukulele. This is also an Enya ukulele. It's a concert size. I think it's really beautiful. It's solid mahogany, so it is real wood, and it just feels so good in my hand, and I think it has such a really lovely sound. Also, concert's my favorite size of ukulele, so I really like the way it feels in my hands. I like the gloss finish up here too, and it keeps tune really, really well. Sometimes I'm also looking for a ukulele that has more of a guitar feel. If I'm gonna do that and like I want the tone to be a little deeper and richer, I'll reach for either my tenor ukulele with a low G or a baritone. This is my tenor ukulele at the moment. I have a low G on it. So because it's that coiled string, you really do get that guitar feel for it. It doesn't come standard on this ukulele. This is actually the tenor size of the concert one I just showed you. I just stuck the low G on there, and I think it's really fun to play with, especially if I'm doing like some Fleetwood Mac or country or something. It's nice to have one that offers a different tone. Similarly, if I want that full-on guitar feel, I sometimes just reach for my baritone ukulele. Now, this is a Kala baritone. This is like the most entry-level baritone ukulele I think you can get. I got this when, I don't know, I was like in my second year of teaching or something, and it's great. The thing about baritone ukulele is it is tuned differently from the standard uke. So you do have to play different chord shapes, but what I think is really great about this is if you're someone who's interested in guitar and you're already a ukulele player, pick up a baritone. This is super cheap. It comes in at like under $100. I assume I had like no money when I was first teaching, and so I can't imagine I would have spent more than that on it. It's a great transition to get to guitar because a lot of the chords, like for instance, this is a G. An easy G on a guitar is the same thing. So the shapes are very, very similar, and it's really easy to kind of cross over. And that's one thing I used to do when I was working with students that were interested in guitar. Before I had them move to guitar because they already had ukulele background, I'd have them learn the basic chords on a baritone ukulele, and that increased their success by a lot. Similarly, if you're a guitar player and you're looking to check out ukulele, a baritone might be a great option for you because it's I'd say size-wise, it's similar to like a half or a 3/4 size guitar, but it has the same tuning as the top 4 strings on the guitar, and 2 of the strings typically are coiled, and so it just has that really nice guitar sound. And yeah, this was really cheap, so it served me really well. And I just put a little ukulele lay on it to make it look cuter. And then too, there are a lot of other different types of ukuleles that I don't own all of them, but sometimes you really, really want like a very specific sound for something you're working on. This is a new ukulele to my collection. It is a Donner Banjolele, and I've seen banjoleles for a long time, and essentially what it is a ukulele with the body of a banjo, so it very much sounds like it. I would say it's like a slightly more hollowy sound than any banjo I've ever played before. Now, I'm not a banjo player, but I have played banjo before. It's tuned to a ukulele, so it's still G, C, E, A. You do have to set up the bridge and everything, which was kind of like an experience for me, but it's super fun, and it really offers a great sound if that's what you're looking for. I've been enjoying like playing a lot of like country tunes and bluegrass and stuff with it. Also, I would say most people that play banjolele, like of course you can strum with it, but I'd say most people do like licks and picking with it. So by having the banjolele here, it's really like forced me to kind of explore more of my own skills with licks and stuff. So that's been a really fun thing to check out too. If I haven't already released my review of this instrument, I'll make sure to link it in the cards, but it's really cool, and it's also a very affordable option for banjolele as well. My last sort of classification of ukulele would be my bass ukulele, or U-bass. This is a Kala, and I think this is also like pretty much their like entry line. It still is about like $250-ish or so. I'll have everything linked below. I can't remember exactly how much everything costs, but I had a Donner U-bass for a while, and I'll link the video if you want to check that out. My husband is a bass player, like that is his like main instrument, so I'll often have him come on and do like cool little play-alongs with it. I can also play this though too. I just don't quite as often because it's not as usual just to play the bass ukulele. It's often used with accompaniment and stuff. So, but it's super cool. It's tuned the same to a bass. It has silicone strings, which is awesome. It makes it really good for like, it's out of tune, but it makes it really good for like hammer-ons and pull-offs and type things. And you can do like some cool lappa de bass things. I really love it. And it's cool to play with. I mean, like everyone's always like super impressed when they see it, and they just think it's the coolest thing. I also have a paddle U-bass, which is awesome for students with disabilities or really anybody, but it's a 1-string silicone, like plastic bodied one. This is what that looks like. It's kind of an interesting little shape. It only has the one tuner, and I bought this for my students a number of years ago because I had students that needed some modifications to their playing and stuff. And like I said, this little section here is just a metal magnetized insert, or not metal, but it's like a magnet insert that you can just place, and there's multiple that come with this, so you can exchange them out based on the key that you're playing in. But it's awesome. I've played with this. I would say it's slightly more difficult to stay in tune, but if you use it a lot more, then it's not a big deal. But it's really cool. Also, you can wipe it down really easily because it's a plastic base and stuff, and then you just plug it into an amp. And it's a Kala one. What's cool about this too is it was made in conjunction with, I can't remember their name, but I'll make sure to have it down in the description. They are a music therapist that's like amazing. I've gone to a few of their like talks before, and it's just super cool. Like adaptive music is a huge passion of mine, so it's really cool to see adaptive instruments coming out that, you know, are catering to people and helping people make the instrument more accessible to them. To sort of give an example of like how all these different instruments just give a different feel and sound, I'm just gonna play a little snippet of This Land Is Your Land using a few of the different instruments. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island. You kind of get the idea that really each different ukulele gives a lot of different timbre, which is like the way it actually sounds. So like every single person's individual voice has a different timbre to it, and every ukulele does too. It's kind of just like a little sampling and the reasons of why I will reach for different ukuleles and why I use different ukuleles, and why you see me like kind of rotating different ukuleles. Like sometimes it's just how I feel on the day, and other days it's like for a very specific reason. So, you know, if you're looking at kind of expanding your collection, take some of this into mind, and hopefully it helps you kind of make decisions down the road. I will make sure to link all the different ukuleles I have shown you today. So if you want to check them out, you can go ahead and check them out. If I have reviews for any of them, I'll make sure to link them too. But otherwise, I hope you guys found this enjoyable. Make sure to give this video a like, and I will see you next time. Bye!